भूतले किमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे जय गौरांगी बेंगुरेश्वर गौरांगी बेंगुरेश्वर गौरांगी जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रा माई जय सुदर्शना जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव प्रहलाद सिंह जय वामन निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining this wonderful initiative of having opportunity to hear every day in the morning. Thanks to Sri Hari Prabhu and the Gita Gyan team. Okay, so we will today be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20, which is Lord Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prathu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarnam Paramanandamadam Shri Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. Let me share my screen. Reading from chapter 20, Canto 4, Lord Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prathu. Text 1. Maitreya Vacha Bhagavan api Vaikunta Sakam Magavata Vibhu Yagner Yagnapatistushto Yagna Bhuktam Avasata. Translations unpurposed by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, being very much satisfied by the performance of 99 horse sacrifices, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, appeared on the scene. Accompanying him was King Indra. Lord Vishnu then began to speak. There's no purport, so we'll read the next one as well. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Eshate Karshid Bhangam Haya Meda Shatasya Kshama Atmanam Amosyak Shantum Arhasi. Translation: Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, "My dear King Prithu, Indra, the King of Heaven, has disturbed your execution of 100 sacrifices. Now he has come with me to be forgiven by you. Therefore, excuse him." Purport: In this verse, the word Atmanam is very significant. It is a custom among yogis and jnanis to address one another or even an ordinary man as oneself. For a transcendentalist never accepts a living being to be the body. Since the individual self is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the self and the super self are qualitatively non different. As the next verse will explain, the body is only a superficial covering, and consequently, an advanced transcendentalist will not make a distinction between oneself and another. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपादान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, Hare Krishna. Well, very interesting. So what we'll do is we'll quickly look at the summary of what we are studying here. Sorry, just give me a minute. Hoping my full screen will be visible. Okay. Okay. Let me just go back a step. Let's do a bit of a recap. So this Prithu Maharaj story is actually something that's running for almost 10 chapters, right? So we are in chapter 20, but from chapter 14 onwards, the Prithu Maharaj story started. Wonderful story, and lot of takeaways we have seen through this, and it will go until chapter 23. That's 10 chapters of this Prithu Maharaj Katha. So Prithu Maharaj, as we know, is an incarnation of the Lord. His father turned a bit negative, right? So the Brahmanas killed, and Prithu Maharaj was churned out of his body. So all of us know this story and how he actually re-established Dharma. Even Mother Earth submitted onto him. So that was till chapter 18. So between chapter 18 and chapter 20, is this small episode that comes very nicely. So this is the episode where Prithu Maharaj decides to do 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. And 100 horse sacrifices typically means that you will be granted the position of next Indra. You will be granted the position of Indradev. So as he did his sacrifices during his 99 sacrifice, just before he was about to do his 100. So when the 99th sacrifice was going on, the horse disappeared. So Prithu Maharaj's son went and figured out where the horse was. He brought it back because Indradev had stolen it. Now Indra had stolen the horse because you're qualified to become next Indra, so his position is in risk. So Prithu Maharaj again starts off in the 100th sacrifice. Just before he does that, the horse, the Ashwa that is supposed to be offered in the Ashwamedha sacrifice is again stolen away. So Indra again takes away the horse. So I'm hoping you can see the Shubhodini. It's easy to hear from here. So Indra is again stealing away the horse. And Maharaj Prithu this time goes and gets the horse back. How does Indra steal is also very interesting. He disguises himself as a sannyasi, comes to the sacrificial arena and he takes away the horse. So all the priests who are accompanied there, who are there with Prithu Maharaj, who is doing the sacrifice, who is head of the sacrifice, right? So in this case, Yagnapati, he would be not, I mean, the Supreme Lord is the Yagnapati, but he is the owner of the yajna, right? So in this case, so all the priests who are doing it on behalf of Prithu Maharaj tell him that, look, Indra has become very offensive. Why don't we just offer him to the sacrifice? That means kill Indradev. Now, Prithu Maharaj was contemplating if he has to do that. At that time, Brahmaji appeared there and he told him, do not kill Indra. Okay, he tells him, do not kill Indra, but rather, my dear Prithu Maharaj, why don't you give up your 100th yajna? Why don't you give up your ambition of performing the 100th yajna? And Prithu Maharaj agreed to it. Because Indradev had established what we can call as an irreligion by dressing himself as a sannyasi and coming there. So this episode is very nice. It ends with this, where Prithu Maharaj accepts not to perform the 100th sacrifice. And this is where, in the previous class, you would have heard, or typically when you hear this particular episode, you would hear this word called 99 greater than 100. Right? You might have heard this 99 greater than 100. Why is that? Is what we will see today. So you would see that everyone around was satisfied because Prithu Maharaj, out of his anger, he would have killed Indradev. It would have created a lot more complexities there. So nothing of that sort happened. But what would happen is, Prithu Maharaj, if he had done 100 sacrifices, he would have become the next Indra, He's anyway fully trained. He's taken care of citizens nicely. So he would have taken care of everyone from higher planetary system. All the demigods, everything comes under his control. But Brahmaji, who would become Indra's boss, he says, don't do it. Right? So Prithu Maharaj doesn't become Indra. What does he become? Well, if he had done 100 sacrifices, he would have become the head of demigods. But because he did not do, because he accepted to stop with 99, the Supreme Lord, Swayam Vishnu, appears there. Right? So this is why we usually say 99 is greater than 100 in this case, where it just by doing 99, just by accepting not to do 100, just by forgiving Indradev's offense, he gets the audience of the Supreme Lord. So Prithu Maharaj is Shakti Avesh Avatar. He is already an empowered incarnation, but he gets the darshan of the Supreme Lord. That means that he's going to get a lot more things done for his people and for general populace. Okay, so we will look at what we are going to hear in this chapter between today and the next class. So today we'll hear two very important subject matters. The rest of it is more or less what we already know. The first subject matter is the importance of forgiving the offense committed by anyone else. If you have been offended, what is the importance of forgiving that person? Okay, we will hear about that in the first few shlokas. We have already seen in the first couple of shlokas. We'll see that and why a person should not commit offense, a person should not take offense, and he should forgive any offenses that are given. We'll hear about all these three coming down to one very subject matter. Okay, so that's the first part. The rest of it, when the Lord is giving instructions or speaking, you will see that there is a lot of overlap between what we have heard in Bhagavad Gita. All of us would have at least studied the Bhagavad Gita 3 times, I'm guessing. If not, please finish it 3 times, 10 times if possible. That's what Srila Prabhupada told my Guru Maharaj. So you should do 10 times before you get initiation. So today, I think it's only 3 times, but if possible. So we'll hear some of those topics that we have heard in Bhagavad Gita. We'll talk about the body, the soul, the super soul, the varnas and the ashramas, the occupational duties. Okay, we'll try to understand that, and we'll try to understand our real position of being the subordinate of the Supreme Lord or as Paramatma's servant. right? So we'll hear about all these Bhagavad Gita subject matters from shlokas uh, 7 to 12. We'll also hear one very important piece, because here the instruction of the Lord is to Prithu Maharaj, who is a leader in the society. So the subject matter is the same that we have heard in Bhagavad Gita, the same that's given to Arjuna, who is also a king or a leader. But in Prithu Maharaj's case, he tells what is the benefit of knowing this knowledge. You already have this knowledge. How do you act in this knowledge? That kind of an understanding is there. So we'll try to finish till 12. If time permits, we will, we'll try to finish till 15 and 16 shloka, where the Lord says, I'm pleased with you, ask for any benediction. So we'll try to finish off till 16. From 17 onwards, Prithu Maharaj starts discussing or taking instructions from the Lord, and Indradev acts on it. So the rest of it is about the Lord's affectionate dealing between Prithu Maharaj and how he had agreed for Indradev's excuse. So you'll just hear a little bit of that. And then the Falastuti of all this, while Prithu Maharaj prays for the, uh, glorifies the Lord, the prayers of the Lord. So we can see from 17 to 38, that's about 22 shlokas in the next class. We'll try to do this today. Okay, I'm hoping that is good. So we'll now go back to our very own subject matter. So where are we right now? Like I've been mentioning, the importance of not committing an offense, not taking an offense, and forgiving if someone else has done an offense. Okay, so I'll probably start with the conclusion. Okay, then we can discuss a little bit more on this. So every day when we pray in the morning, uh, if you're doing the Mangalarti, if you're doing your chanting early in the morning, because I see most of you are attending a class in the morning, that means you are doing a morning program yourself, which is wonderful, right? So um, every day, if possible, when you go and pray to the Lord, you pay obeisances. It's always good to have a conversation with the Lord. Like I offer my efforts to my spiritual master. I pray for the welfare of others, whatever it is. Please forgive any offenses that I'm doing knowingly or unknowingly. Please avoid me from committing offenses. We always pray this. Also pray that please do not make me take any offense. Let me not take offenses, and please give me the humility to forgive any offense that is made by anyone, knowingly or unknowingly, right? So that's a very important part of the prayer. In fact, in one of the classes, I've heard this from Amoglila Prabhu on the importance of forgiving or not taking offenses. It's as important as not committing offenses. Right. So I thought this is a very important point. So we should know this. So what's happening here? Maitreya is saying that the Supreme Personality of Godhead came. So Brahmaji is already there. Brahmaji says, stop, stop, stop. Prithu Maharaj and the priest, please don't do anything right now. Right? So in the forgive Indra. Because as sannyasi, he's taken away the horse, he's probably bringing it back. Whatever, but please don't kill him. While he's saying that, now Lord Vishnu appears. Because it's a sacrificial arena, all the devas, devatas, and of course the Supreme Lord are invited. So we have seen this in Daksha's story. We have seen this in Prithu Maharaj's earliest part as well, right? So Lord Vishnu is appeared there, and with him, very humbly, very nicely, Indradev is also come. Imagine the folded hands. He's come with his boss's boss, asking for forgiveness. And immediately Lord Vishnu says, my dear Prithu, I know he's disturbed your 100 sacrifice. Now he has come with me to be forgiven by you. Therefore, excuse him. When the Lord tells this instruction, gives this instruction to excuse, that means it's something that the Lord is pleased with when a person does it. That's as simple as what we had just discussed, saying that if someone is committing an offense to you, when you forgive, the Lord becomes happier. So we have discussed many things about many huge discussions on aparadh. What are the aparadhs you should not commit? Why you should not commit an aparadh? Against a Vaishnava, you should not commit an aparadh, nam aparadh. There are so many offenses. Vaishnava aparadh being the topmost, and we have heard many stories around these. Just going back to Amrish Maharaj, right? So the reason why Durvas Muni was chased by Sudarshan Chakra was because he offended a Vaishnava like Amrish Maharaj. And where all did Durvas Muni go? Durvas Muni had an access to everywhere. He could go to Brahma's planet, he could go to Lord Shiva's Kailash, then he could go to Vaikunta. And there Lord Narayan says that go back. The only person who can save you from Sudarshan Chakra is Amrish Maharaj. As soon as he comes to Amrish Maharaj, asks for sorry. Amrish Maharaj's reply was, I am sorry. I had never taken an offense. Right? So the moment he did that, Durvas Muni was re-established in his position. So when we don't take offenses, automatically that person's spiritual life is not disturbed. So the obvious question when we are discussing this was, Prabhu, what happens if the person continues to be offensive? I keep forgiving, but this person continues to be offensive. What should I do? The answer is you can avoid that person as much as possible. Stay away, stay far from that person. Why give him an opportunity to find faults in you, even if he's not asking for forgiveness, he's not even realizing that he's committing an offense. Stay as far as possible. And many times we have seen senior Vaishnavas do that because they don't want the other person's spiritual life to be disturbed. They don't want their spiritual life to be affected either, right? So if someone is committing offenses, as in insulting you, talking wrong about you, spreading rumors about you, whatever it is, right? So when you stay away, you don't want to hear all these. So you avoid that person, then automatically that person doesn't have enough uh, items to offend you. And you can always pray to the Lord, let that person get some sense. Or you can always pray to the Lord saying that I don't know if I'm really committing an offense or if I'm really committing these mistakes as pointed out by this other person. So please help me not commit the mistakes. And if the person is unnecessarily speaking, then let him not do so. But you can always pray to the Lord, pray to the Acharyas, pray to your spiritual master. Right? So it is not, so when we talk about devotee association, does it mean that if the association is not going well, if the association is not progressive, if it's not helping you in your spiritual life, rather it's disturbing you, it's okay to cut that association. Does devotee association means it's progressive for your spiritual life? Okay, even if it's a senior Vaishnava, if it's become very offensive to you, if it's affecting your services, it's okay to stay away. Take up another service. There is so much to do in Prabhupada's movement. There's so much to do. So you can always take up something else. Okay. So Amrish Maharaj's example is very easy to understand. So is Prithu Maharaj's example, where the Supreme Lord himself comes and says. Okay. So let's move on. Let's hear a little bit more and then we'll go into the Bhagavad Gita kind of discussion. So, O King, one who is advanced in intelligence and eager to perform welfare activities for others is considered best among human beings. An advanced human being is never malicious to others. Those with advanced intelligence are always conscious that this material body is different from the soul. So what is your purpose? Your purpose is to serve the Lord and serve those people who are not come to the lotus feet of the Lord. So when you're performing welfare activities for others, we'll actually see that when we conclude. So welfare activities means you are helping that person, another person becoming Krishna conscious. Doing Annadan Seva, cleaning the lakes, feeding the poor, all those is not, I mean, it's helping. It's still pious activity. It is not a welfare activity. Welfare activity means you're caring for the wellness of the other person. The only way the wellness of the other person is guaranteed is if they become Krishna conscious. Right? So when we are doing Krishna conscious activities, then we are always good to others. So in an advanced human being is never malicious towards others. He doesn't want others to fall down. If by committing an offense against me, if that person's spiritual life is getting hampered, then I would rather pray that let that person not fall down because of offense against me. And if everyone prays like that and stops committing offenses, then it becomes easy. Now, the important piece that I wanted to discuss around this, right? So, let me see. If there's any discrepancy, he forgives. It is said the forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing in spiritual knowledge. Right? So Prabhupada concludes that forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing in spiritual knowledge. Now go back and ask how many times you have forgiven, how many times you have not forgiven. Sometimes, there is this tinge that's saying, this person in 2006 made me do this. Just waiting for one opportunity. Material life is all that, right? So you wait for opportunities to take a revenge against the other person. The spiritual life is exactly the opposite. Spiritual life, you wait for an opportunity to do more service. To a devotee, to the Lord, whatever it is, you just hankering, waiting for an opportunity. Now, what do we understand about offenses? First thing about offenses. Why am I offending someone else? My offenses are because my ego is overtaking my original position. My false ego says that you deserve so and so. So you tell, I deserve to get one more rasgulla. That person did not give me. So that person is offensive. I spread a rumor about that person because I believe I'm entitled or I deserve so and so respect. Why? Because I'm still on my bodily conscious. I'm still feeling that I'm a senior Vaishnava. I'm a wonderful devotee. You know what? I'm a devotee who chants 32 rounds every day. Whatever. You know what? I'm a big donor. I hold this so and so position in material life or so and so position in spiritual life. Right? So uh, that's the reason why we commit offenses, because of false ego. Why do we take offense? No other reason than your ego. How could that person tell about this to me? How could he stop me from entering the stage? How could I not be given this importance? Why? I'm an advanced devotee. I'm such a nice devotee. You know what? I'm a fully dedicated 24-hour devotee. I'm the leader of so and so. All these designations that I feel that I am entitled for, that is the reason I accept that others are committing offense against me. Let them fall. So the reason for committing offenses, the reason for taking offenses is both my ego. And an intelligent person who wants to advance in spiritual life is not on the ego platform. So obviously he will forgive. He's progressing. He's like, okay, he's offended my body. Yaar, chalo, ho gaya. Or he's knowingly or unknowingly done it. Let me avoid that person. If I'm given an excuse, then given a chance, then I can justify myself why I did. Many times you are not given a chance to justify yourself. The action is done. So when you commit an offense, go ask for a sorry. Please forgive me. If the person is not forgiving, go tell your spiritual master, go tell Nityanand Prabhu, go tell Baldev. They will give you the strength to withhold that. Similarly, when someone is asking for a forgiveness, someone is not even asking for a forgiveness, but unknowingly committing or knowingly committing, continue to forgive. That will help you do your activities very, very, very peacefully. This is what I have heard from senior Vaishnavas. Sometimes I try to follow. Many times it becomes difficult, but you keep continuing to follow, then your spiritual activities are very jolly. Otherwise, there are again, your spiritual life will become another samsara, another material living. You are worried about this one, that one, here, there, they, them. You don't want to come into spiritual organization and do the same thing that you're doing in material organization, then what is the point? Okay. Now let's continue. If a personality like you, who are so much advanced because of executing the instructions of the previous acharyas, is carried away by the influence of my material energy, then all your advancement may be considered simply a waste of time. Correct? Lord's Maya is very, very strong. And we are trying to execute instructions of our acharyas, previous acharyas. And still, if I'm covered by Maya, in this case, Maya is basically talking about ego, but generally also, if I'm wasting my time in Maya, then my advancement or whatever. If someone asked me today, how many years you have been in Krishna conscious, I can say I started in 2008, 9, Prabhu. So it's been like 16 years, 17 years. Then when you look at so many wonderful new devotees doing such wonderful service, and you're not able to do like what 15 years. This is not, it's waste of time, waste of telling that I'm 15 years. Instead, I can just keep quiet and look at others and get inspired to do more services. Okay, so where do we get knowledge from? Perfect knowledge is acquired from the acharyas or liberated souls. No one can be perfect in knowledge without being trained by the parampara system. So Prithu Maharaj is already trained, right? So Prithu Maharaj has gone through this, so he cannot behave like an ordinary person. He's re-establishing religion. He's saying, you as a leader, you as a trained devotee, please accept that you need to be on the spiritual platform, not on the material platform. Those who are in full knowledge of the bodily conception of life, who know that this body is composed of nescience, desire, desires and activities resulting from illusion, do not become addicted to the body. Right? So we spoke about ego, false ego. That means I think I am this body. Right? So those who are in full knowledge, they are fully clear that I'm not the body. I'm the soul. Those who are on the path of spirituality, like some of you might be advanced, but many of us are trying to, sadhana bhaktas, trying to balance this whole knowledge that I'm not the body, I'm the soul is there. But that realization that I'm not the body, I'm the soul is not there. So three phases, right? So one is knowing, one is understanding, one is realizing. We all should be knowing by now. Right? So we are already in the Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, almost every day, somehow or other get connected. So we know that we are not the body, we are the soul. Sometimes we understand, many times we don't understand that we are not this body. Realization is where we have the major problem. That am I realized means what? Am I behaving on the platform of the soul? Okay, that takes a lot longer time. So sadhana continues. Slowly, uh, that we have discussed this, right? So a percentage, I have 100% to cover. As we are progressing, you will see that your bodily demands, bodily activities, the desires, bodily necessities keep reducing. And your spiritual activities are like to keep increasing, more eager to perform spiritual activities. Okay. A simplest example is, am I finishing my 16 rounds early in the morning? Starts from there. Am I progressing? Am I doing Samsara Dava every day? Am I doing Guru Vandana every day? Am I doing Tulsi Parikrama? If you have Tulsi Mai at home, watering Tulsi Mai. Otherwise, mentally do these activities. Right? So do you have a schedule? And how are you progressing? You're hearing, you're reading, you're chanting. And then your quality starts increasing. Okay. So that's how you know you're progressing. That means you're not addicted to the body. Material activities performed by for political emancipation and social and humanitarian activities performed with an idea that people of the world will be happy are also illusory, because the basic principle is the bodily consumption, which is illusory. Right? So by doing so much activity, people will be happy in this world. Okay, like I said, cleaning the lake, feeding the poor, I will do this activity, I will do that activity. In fact, if you remember this piece between Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, right? So, Srila Abhaycharan, at that time, he was following the Gandhian movement. So, when he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, no, see, I'm influenced by Gandhiji. I think we should get freedom. And people are suffering as slaves under the British rule. So freedom is very, very important. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what freedom are you talking? We are slaves of Maya. We are struggling here. The actual freedom is going back to a real home. Don't try improving this world. So see, independence has its own position. So not getting into that debate. I'm just saying that we feeling that doing so much activities, many people, socially very nice, very pious people, have a very nice devotee friend who, not a devotee friend, I mean, sorry, a very pious friend that offers, who actually participates in all the so-called corporate social responsibility, the CSR activities, where they go to different villages, cleaning the toilets, planting trees, educating the older people, educating children, collecting donations or gifts for these students, kids, collecting toys and books. He does this very, very sincerely. So if I ask for a donation for Rath Yatra or Janmashtami, then he will ask me donation for, giving Christmas gifts and so on. So they don't understand that what activity they are doing is very, very insignificant. And they will continue to be happy doing that activity because they don't have a higher taste. And the higher taste comes only when they come and do service to the Lord. They can relish and they can visually see it. It's not that this person is feeding, so that person is happy for some time and then again he's struggling. In other words, Lord Vishnu informed Pratumara that although the sacrificial performance set an example for ordinary people, there was no need for such sacrificial performance as far as his personal self was concerned. Right? So, in the Vedic scriptures, about 80% of our scriptures, or little over, little under 80%, is all about how to improve your life right now and your life next step. That means they talk about the karma concept, karma yoga concept, right? So what karma yoga? You do this sacrifice, this yagna, next life you'll become Indra. You do this yagna, your marriage life will be sorted, your kids will be nice, your wealth will be saved, so on. Dhanam dehi, vidya dehi, that dehi, this dehi. All those sacrifices, I mean, all those yagnas, homas, pujas. When you do different pujas, also you will realize this, right? If you have been in the typical Hindu families, then you would have done this Ganesh puja at home, or this Varamahalakshmi puja. At the end of these, or Satyanarayan puja, for example, at the end of this puja, if you take Ganesh puja, at the end of it, they will, the Pandit, whoever is doing, or these days the cassettes or the CDs, the YouTubes, I don't know how it's happening, but however it is happening. So at the end of it, they will actually tell you what is the benefit of doing this. Or Satyanarayan Puja, I remember they would tell that this businessman had so and so problem. Someone told him do the Satyanarayan Puja. He did this. Then his business problems are solved. There was a court case that was happening. He did this. His court case. He won. He won the court case and so on. How do you improve your materials condition, either in this body or in the next body? That's good 80% of our scriptures, including the Ashwamedha Yagna here, which means that you will progress yourself, become Indra. Imagine president of India, Donald Trump, president of the US, and so on. Now you will become president of this whole the different planetary systems, right? Only Brahmaji is above you. You will get that kind of a position. Right? So again, it is not useful for a devotee. There is no need for such sacrificial performance as far as personal self was concerned. What is personal self? When I'm on the soul platform, right? So Traigunya Vishaveda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Come, raise above the modes. The ritualistic performances recommended in the Vedas mainly depend on the three modes of nature. Consequently, Arjuna was advised to transcend the Vedic activities. The activities Arjuna was advised to perform was transcendental activities of devotional service. Okay. The same advice that was there in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, is being given to Prithu Maharaj here, saying that this Vedic sacrifices that you're doing is in the modes of nature, it will only improve a material situation. Why don't you do transcendental activities which are devotion? Okay. Continuing, how can a highly learned person who has absolutely no affinity for the bodily conception of life be affected by the bodily conception in regard to house, children, wealth, and similar other bodily productions? Okay, so a person is considered learned. A person is considered learned spiritually if, depending how much are you learned, it depends on how much are you attached towards spirituality and disconnected from material life. Material life means what? Bodily conception. That means what? This is my house, this is my children, this is me, this is mine, this is my country. Okay. Devotees also sometimes, talk about India-Pakistan war and all that. probably 15, 20 days back. Is it good? Is it bad? Leave it for another discussion. But generally, why are you supporting India or Pakistan? Because I was born in India, I will support India. Right? So not because you are born. Then that becomes bodily concept. It's not no Desh Bhakti. Desh Bhakti is also body in this case. The Vedic ritualistic ceremonies are certainly meant to please the Supreme Personality of God and Lord Vishnu. However, by such activities, one does not factually satisfy the rather with the sanction of Lord Vishnu, one tries to satisfy one's own senses. It's a very nice point. So many times we have heard that the ultimate benefactor of all the Vedic ritualistic work is the Supreme Lord. Right? He is the owner of all the yajnas. Right? It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Right? So he is the Yajna Purusha, Yajnapati, for whom all the sacrifices are meant. Okay. So that means that you're doing for his satisfaction. So is the Lord pleased with it? Well, if you are asking for material benefits and doing those sacrifices as mentioned in the Vedas, the Lord is not fully pleased with you. Rather, you are just taking his permission to go and do sense gratificatory activities. Right? So sometimes the children go to their parents and ask for sanctions. Sometimes, when the child is very young, they go and ask for permission. Can I do this? Can I do that? Even when they are younger than that, they will go to the parents, and the parents will say, come, I'll take you to this place, I will buy you this one, I'll buy you a toy, I'll buy you books, I'll buy you a new dress. As they grow, they will come and say, I want to buy this jeans jacket, I want to buy this cap, I want to go and eat here, I want to visit Goa. Right? The difference is what? The first case, they are dependent on the parents. The second case, they want the parent to sanction their sense gratification. And they would do work around it, right? So today, the world is wonderful. If this is very common. I have a ninth standard going son. So I see that with many parents. They say that, okay, if you get so much marks, I will buy you this. I will give you whatever you want if you study like this, if you do this, if you do that, if you eat your food properly, I'll give you this. In fact, I've seen parents having the chart. I think one of the trainings they had encouraged parents to do that, saying that if the child eats vegetables or salads or whatever it is, he is eligible for 50 rupees. Example I'm giving. If he studies 1 hour for mathematics, then he is eligible for this. If he's attending a course, if he's doing basketball training, then he's eligible for 50 rupees. So through the month, he will collect, and that 2,000 rupees, the child is eligible, they will go and buy something. Right? So like that. I mean, the material world is always about what will I get to satisfy my own self. And we do the dealing with the Lord, then that is not correct. What should we go and ask the Lord? My dear Lord, please engage me in your service. And how do we ask this question? Just by telling Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What are we asking there? My dear Lord, please engage me in your service. Many times you would see devotees, if they want something also, they will go to the Lord and they'll say, my dear Lord, if you so desire, can I get this? That's the right attitude. Then the Lord is not obliged to give you, no, Lord is never obligated, but generally, when you ask these questions, you don't want to put the Lord in a situation where you want to also control and you also want to tell the Lord. This is, I was hearing this Ramayana Katha some time back, and they were saying that Ravana was better than us. Ravana said that, Rama, you don't come, I want Sita, I want to enjoy Lakshmi Devi. What are we doing? We were saying that Lakshmi Devi also I want Rama also, you permit me to enjoy Lakshmi Devi, as in material sense gratification. Right? So we are devotees, are not devotees, but general people in the Kali Yuga are even worse than that. And devotees should definitely not be doing that. Devotional service to the Lord has nothing to do with material conception of bodily comforts. Yes, we use the body for the service of the Lord, but don't worry about the comfort of the body. And for this one, just read about Srila Prabhupada, Leelamrita, or read about how our different wonderful temples have come up. When you hear the story of Mayapur, you see how the initial set of devotees, how they spent their time. Today they are all acharyas. How they have lived. the items would get stolen. So I have heard my Guru Maharaj would sleep on those, iron rods that would come in for building construction. He would sleep there in the night. It's a forest, right? So it's not a very, city kind of a place, very comfortable place. You would sleep there so that nothing gets stolen in the night. We have heard these stories or pastimes of many of our acharyas. It's how they protected the deities. What bodily comfort? They would do anything because of their love and attachment to Srila Prabhupada. That's the bare minimum. That's what we should also have. The individual soul is one, pure, non-material and self-effulgent. He is the reservoir of all good qualities and is all-pervading. He is without material covering and he is the witness of all the activities. He is completely distinguished from other living entities and is transcendental to all embodied souls. Who is he talking about here? The Lord is talking about the all-pervading, self-effulgent soul that witnesses all activities. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura talks about the Lord is addressing the Paramatma feature. He's talking to him saying that, look, the Paramatma within you is actually seeing everything, addressing everything, knowing everything. So we should understand the super soul concept. So we have already seen beyond the body, we should be on the non-bodily concept. We should do activities that are for the soul. And who is the witness of these activities? It's the Paramatma. The continuation is there in the next shloka, wherein it says, although within the material nature, one who is thus situated in full knowledge of the Paramatma and Atma is never affected by the modes of material nature, for he is always situated in my transcendental loving service. It's not much to explain here. Mamya cho vebicare ne bhakti yoge ne sevate sagunan samatiteta brahma bhoyaya kalpate. Right? One who is unflinchingly engaged in devotional service of the Lord surpasses material qualities, attains Brahman realization. Right? So one who is on this platform, one who is on the platform of knowing Atma and Paramatma. He's got full knowledge. That means he'll act in that platform. So again, I'll reiterate: knowing, understanding, and realizing. When you're on the understanding and realizing, when you're on the realized platform, you will act on that platform. Okay, so Srila Vishnu Chakravarti, Srila Rupa Goswami in this connection says, if a person is always engaged in the service of the Lord with his body, word, and mind, he is to be considered liberated, although living in the material world. Right, so we have seen this many times, right? So a person is said to be liberated if even in this present situation, when he is fully engaged in the service of the Lord. His body is engaged in the service of the Lord. His words are engaged in the service of the Lord. More important or most important, his mind is also engaged in the service of the Lord. Many times we are chanting, mind is going everywhere. We are serving, our mind is somewhere else. No one is watching, then chalo, let me give pleasure to my mind, my body by doing those activities. Right? So a person is liberated when he's able to use body, mind, and words. One of the things is we also say tan man or dhan se seva karna chahiye. Right? So the dhan part is also important that we also offer. Now I probably take 30 seconds. Shri Prabhu, if you're okay. So Shri Prabhu kept sending a couple of messages on refreshing the Zoom permissions. We need to buy the licenses and so on. So if you're able to get benefited from the service that the wonderful devotees are doing from Gita Gyan, then my tan man dhan I should be able to offer to help. That's again service of the Lord. That's again, so if you have whatever is your number, right? So you might have a 10% per month, 25% per month. If it's less than 10%, re-look at your finances. So some percentage that you give to the Lord. So can I use that here? Can I use it in the service of the Lord here? Right? So we should do that. That actually signifies that we are progressing. That's all. There is nothing much. Right? So many people say that ISKCON is very rich. ISKCON is very rich. ISKCON is rich because the devotees who understand, they want to sponsor. That I want to spread this message of Krishna consciousness. We are talking about 10,000 years, it's going to be golden period. We are already, 500 years past it. So there will be a period when the entire world is supposed to be Krishna conscious. And if you are expecting that to happen through a miracle, then why are we here in the moment? The miracle is we. We are part of that. So we are supposed to spread it. And how do I spread it? First thing is I become as pure as possible. Then when I touch someone else, they become pure. So there's a small story that I probably tell here. How uh, Sheila, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke about devotees, right? So devotees from Bengal would walk all the way to Jagannath Puri and meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and importance of devotee association was always mentioned. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they would ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a devotee, who should we associate with? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, saying that anyone who chants Hare Krishna, he is a devotee, associate with. Next year they came, they asked the same question to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are taking association from devotees, who should we associate with? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, one who continuously chants Hare Krishna, he is a devotee, associate with that person. Right? So that's how progression happens. So association, first, anyone who's a devotee. Second one, those advanced devotees who are dedicated devotees. Next year they came, they asked the same question. Now that we are associating with wonderful Vaishnavas, always engaged, now who more should we associate? Who is a Vaishnava? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, anyone seeing whom others want to chant Hare Krishna, that person is a wonderful devotee, associate with him. So how do we progress? As we progress, we should also realize that we are able to touch people and make them devotees. It may not be happening to us, but we'll be able to see those examples around us. It's not easy to have a congregation of 2,000, 3,000 devotees getting connected. Not easy to have 10,000, 15,000, 50,000 disciples and trying to progress them. There is some magic that keeps happening. So am I not part of this miracle that's happening? I should be unfortunate if I'm not part of it. So always try to look at how can I contribute. First step of contributing to this is, it's like they say in the flight, right? When you're traveling in the flight, before the flight takes off, they will give you some, wear your belt like this, the mask like this, and all that. There is this warning. One of the most important thing that they say is that wear your mask first before you help others. Same logic. If you want to progress, if you feel that you want to help others, I want to preach, I want to do this, I want to ensure you are progressed enough that you are not falling down. One of the most important qualities, don't commit offense, don't take offenses. Subject matter pe target. Okay. Anyways, so we'll continue. A few more shlokas. All this we have already read in Bhagavad Gita. Nothing new. Just reiterating this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, continued, my dear King Prithu, when one situated in his occupational duty engages in my loving service without motive for material gain, he gradually becomes very satisfied. Right? So sometimes they say, because my material necessities are lesser, I have the willpower to do what I want. I'm not subservient to the material world. Right? So when this typically in movies it will come where a person says that I don't want to take corruption because I don't have a material necessity for. Similarly, as we are progressing, you will understand that your material necessities are fewer. That means your spiritual life is going very smooth. Okay. Now comes the occupational duties part, right? So the Varnashrama part. This particular verse, Srila Prabhupada connects back to Vishnu Puran, where occupational duties of Varnashrama Dharma is being mentioned. There are 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas we should be knowing: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. Okay. So when we are working within our Varna and our Ashrama properly, there are rules. Okay. If you're doing it properly, then just by discharging that, you become satisfied. You will automatically progress. Okay. Every Varna and every Ashrama has the possibility of getting out of this material world. It's not only a sannyasi will get delivered. It's not only a brahmana will get delivered. If you look at some of the sampradayas, for example, our Adi Shankaracharya's sampradaya, they have a statement that says, Danda Grahana Matrena Nara Narayanam Bhavet. Just by accepting the danda, sannyasa danda, Nara will become Narayana. We don't have that problem, right? So for us, it's very simple. Every varna, every ashrama, you can get delivered. And the safest, I think most of us here, the safest ashrama is Grihastha ashrama, wherein you do your sense gratification for the service of the Lord. You cook what you like, offer it to the Lord, eat it, you're doing transcendental activity. Slowly you will progress, you will understand that I'm cooking this. This is very nice. This is very dear to Baldevji. I will cook this item. Or Radharani likes arbi. Let me cook arbi and offer. Your mind will change like that. Array, this is mango season. Let me offer a lot of mangoes. I like mango. Instead of me saying that I like mango and he'll eat mango, let me offer it to Jagannath. Jagannath will like this, right? So our looking at the world will change. That's Grihastha ashram. And I can support every other ashram. Right? So I can support the brahmacharis, I can support the vanaprasthas, I can support the sannyasis, making my life easier. Okay, and don't worry about the if I'm a brahmana or a shudra. I mean, Kalo Shudra Sambhava very clearly be working for someone else's Shudra quality. That's why when we are taking, second initiation or Brahman initiation, they're very careful. And the lesser you are materially attached, the better it is when you are progressing. But if someone asked this question very recently to my spiritual master, his Holiness Jayapatak Swami Guru Maharaj, they asked, is second initiation necessary for one to get delivered? And he says, no, it is only because you want to do DT related service. So you don't need to be a Brahmana to get delivered, right? So anyone else can get delivered. We are all Grihasthas, and Grihasthas have a very nice path to get delivered. Okay. Let's move on. We have another 10 minutes. Okay. When the heart is cleansed of all material contamination, the devotee's mind becomes broader and transparent, and he can see things equally. At that stage of life, there is peace, and one is situated equally with me as such an Ananda Vigraha. Right? So, in a spiritual position, we are all Sachitananda. In a spiritual position, we are all Sachitananda Vigraha, correct? And when the heart becomes cleansed, I like this statement, when the heart becomes cleansed, how do we clean the heart? Cheto Darpana Marchanam. Very simple, the Hare Krishna mantra. The more we chant, the more we chant, the more we chant, the more we engage in service. Because chanting means we are asking for service. The more we engage in service, you are going to get situations wherein you are going to understand either it is the Lord's pleasure or my pleasure. The moment you start putting the Lord's pleasure above your pleasure, you are getting cleansed. So during COVID, I used to have this service of coming to the temple, wherein every Thursday, because we all used to work from home, and there are very few devotees serving in the temple. So my service was every Thursday I would come to the pujari service, not doing the arti pujari, but the background. There's a lot of service that happens at the background. Okay, when I used to come from this, 9 to 12, 9 to 1 shift, basically. Early morning devotees are done till Bhagavatam class is over. After Bhagavatam class, the service will start. So the arti has happened, the bhoga has happened. So all the vessels will come. You need to clean all those things and keep the arti plate ready for the next arti. By the time you're finished with everything, it's time for the next bhoga and next arti. After that is done, all those items will come. Bhoga will come, Rajbhog will come out. Cleaning that, devotees will take Rajbhog. You have fasted since morning, so you will get one plate. You'll have prashadam. So this went on for COVID, right? So it went on for 6-8 months. I would come 4 times a week, sometimes more than that, also weekends also, because it was not very far and work from home was there. So I used to come. So one time I went to the head pujari and said, Prabhuji, I was told I would get pujari service, and all I get is washing vessels, washing the arti plate, getting them ready and washing them again. I'm not getting to do anything else. He told me, Sanatana, you're so fortunate. Just by washing the vessels of the Lord, just by washing the arti plate and getting them ready, your heart is getting cleansed. It's the very wonderful, humble service. Okay? And that still strikes a chord, that still says that, wow, this is wonderful, right? So I never thought about it that way. I always thought I will do this service today, so tomorrow I can go and do the arti. They will train me to do the arti. I will go close to the Lord. I will lift the Lord. I will hold the Lord. I will do abhishekam to the Lord. No, but the service I was doing itself was ultimate service, which was going to give me so much of cleanliness, right? So this cleanliness of the heart, this Cheto Darpana Marchanam, chanting more and more, becomes very, very important. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, when one is engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord, is immediately situated on the transcendental platform of Kaivalya. So there is, it says a devotee mentioned. So, you know what, liberation, please wait for me. I'm engaged in service. You know, Mukti Devi, please wait. I'm busy in service. But this is even better than liberation. What is liberation? Continuing my service. Right? So either here or there, wherever the Lord desires. Anyone who knows that this material body, made of the 5 gross elements, the sense organs, the working senses, and the mind, is simply supervised by the fixed soul, is eligible to be liberated from material bondage. You know, your body is beyond the soul, right? So you're on the soul platform. The first point is that one must know that the soul is different from the body. The soul is called Dehi, okay? And it's the Deha that's the body. Body is material. As long as the soul is present, the body will work. Otherwise, it is just matter. And when you recognize that, you are awesome, right? So you will not work for something that's temporary, right? So you know that this whole thing is temporary. Why would you put effort on something that's temporary? That's as simple as that. That's called intelligence, right? So I'm getting an option between doing something temporary and doing something permanent. Where will I put my effort? Okay, all this is Bhagavad Gita shloka. When the Lord gives instruction, he does this many times. And Srila Prabhupada, if you hear to the lectures of Srila Prabhupada, you will see that during his initial lectures that are recorded, if you go to Prabhupada Vani, you go to ISKCON Desire Tree and hear those classes or read those classes, you will see invariably Prabhupada would come down to this topic because I am not the body, I am the soul. First, we need to understand that everything else will come and fall in place if you understand the fundamental that I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Okay. Then how to act on the soul platform? What is the importance of soul platform? What is the importance of knowing that I'm not the body? Where does ego come into picture? Where intelligence come into picture? Everything will fall in place. Lord Vishnu told King Prithu, my dear king, the constant change of this material world is due to the interaction of the 3 modes of material nature, the 5 elements, the senses, the demigods who control the senses, as well as the mind which is agitated by the spirit soul. All these taken together comprise the body. Since the spirit soul is completely different from this combination of gross and subtle material elements, my devotee who is connected with me in intense friendship and affection, being completely in knowledge, is never agitated by material happiness and distress. Right? So, Mata Sparshastu Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha. That's what he's saying, right? So, Shita Ushna, whatever are the material happiness and the dualities of material nature, you're not affected by them. Okay, a crude example can be given in this connection: a businessman riding in the motor car. This example we know. So I'll skip this example. So when the car is hit, he is not hit, right? So it's something like that. Okay. My dear heroic king, please keep yourself always equipoised and treat people equally, whether they are greater than you, in the intermediate stage, or lower than you. Do not be disturbed by temporary distress or happiness. Fully control your mind and senses in this transcendental position. Try to execute your duty as king in whatever condition of life you may be posted by my arrangement. For your only duty here is to give protection to the citizens of your kingdom. Very important lesson. If you remember, in the beginning, I said 2 important lessons. One is forgiving, the other is being a leader. Right? So here the instruction is for all of us, but each of us is also a leader in some form. We are leaders for our family members, we could be leaders for our children, we could be leaders for our Bhakti Vriksha members, we could be leaders as big as temple president or coordinator of a southern owner of Gita Gyan, whoever it is, right? So we are leaders. And what does that mean? is that first thing is I should fully control my mind and senses, that anyone who is serving here, whatever I am doing here is all for the pleasure of the Lord, pleasure of Guru Gauranga. It's not for my sense gratification. If someone is doing a mistake, then I will accept it, that, and try to train them. But look, you need to do this properly, because this is affecting a devotee, this is affecting the Lord, and so on. So, not because it's affecting my ego. When you are on that position, you will be able to treat everyone equally. And you will see this is very visible. You will see in with senior Vaishnavas, with temple presidents. When they come in, they will talk to everyone. Sometimes, they are honored very nicely, they are welcomed very nicely. All that is there. But they will talk to everyone, they will treat everyone very nicely. The person is a neophyte, a little lower than you, whatever it is, you give them guidance, you give them association, you hear to them, because a neophyte, you want to open up. You want to hear, okay, how is it going? It's not, like a ritual. How are you doing? Okay, bye. That's not how we greet, right? So we ask them, we hear to them. That's important. When someone is progressing very nicely, you take association, you discuss spiritual topics. You say, this is my understanding. Do you agree to this? Or, you know what, I heard this in one of the classes, or I have seen this particular dust to the Lord looks very nice. If someone is greater than you, obviously, very humbly, sincerely, hear to them. You should be ready to accept people at all levels. Okay. And hear to people. We have 2 ears, one mouth, right? Hear more, talk less. That's also a very important quality for a leader as well. Materially also, you will see that, right? So if you're a manager at office, you will understand when you have team members, the team member wants to talk to you. If you keep giving gyan, after some time they'll stop coming to you. Okay. So this purport is very nice. Just probably in the interest of time, I'll not read the whole purport here, but be intimately connected to the Lord through the Acharya. Okay, that's the important quality that is mentioned there. Okay, why is it important for a leader? Right, so for king, okay, when the king gives proper protection to the people, okay, when people are able to follow their prescribed duties, by acting in this way, the king in this next life shares 1/6 of the result of the pious activity done by each and every citizen. Similarly, if he does not do that, then he is liable for punishment of the impious activities of the subject. So a person who grants to open a temple gets 1/6 the uh, benefit of the temple. Similarly, a person who grants to open a meat shop, a liquor shop, he gets 1/6 of the empires. So being a leader is not an easy position. Being a politician, being the authority to sign something, not an easy position. You are taking someone else's karma. So king is told that, you know what, if everyone becomes a devotee, you going back to home is guaranteed. Why do you want to accept anything less than that? Right. So a leader should always look at it, that is everyone progressing nicely? Are the spiritual roadblocks being addressed? If the person is disturbing others' progress, then how do I ensure that person doesn't disturb others? How do I eliminate that person? Okay, very important qualities for a leader. Okay, as we progress, some leadership roles we'll also take. When we take those positions, we should be very, very careful. What is the benefit of being the nice leader that you are? The Lord continues. Lord Vishnu continued, my dear King Prithu, if you continue to protect the citizens according to the instructions of the learned Brahmanas, authorities, as they are received by disciplic succession, by hearing from masters, or from master to disciple, and if you follow the religious principles laid down to them, laid down by them, without attachment to ideas manufactured by mental concoction, then every one of your citizens will be happy and will love you. And very soon, you will be able to see such already liberated personalities as the four Kumaras, the Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, and Sanat Kumara. Very nice point, right? When you are doing activities that is pleasing to everyone is happy with you. Everyone will love you. When you have people who don't like you for whatever you're doing, see to it that you are not compromising on spiritual standards or for the pleasure of others. If you're doing it properly, then the others are automatically pleased. And don't bring in ideas, mental concoctions, right? Manufactured ideas. Oh, I will try this, I will do that. Someone was actually telling us, oh, why do you want to open a cinema hall inside the temple? Right. So don't try doing those things. Right. So maybe big or small, but when you do concocted things, don't do a kitty party. The party within Krishna consciousness means you have kirtan, bare minimum, or you have kirtan and katha before it goes to prashadam. There should not be an occasion of only eating and partying. It should be accompanied by spiritual topics, spiritual conversations. The benefit at the end of it is obviously you'll get association of such liberated personalities as the four Kumaras, the Sampradaya owners. You will see them in the chapter after this. Okay, this 20, 21, 22 is the Kumaras visit Prithu Maharaj. Those conversations are very nice. So we'll go there. Finally, we'll end with this particular shloka, my dear king. I'm very much captivated by your elevated qualities and excellent behavior. And thus I'm very favorably inclined towards you. You may ask me, therefore, ask from me any benediction you like. One who does not possess elevated qualities and behavior cannot possibly achieve my favor simply by performance of sacrifices, severe austerities, or mystic yoga. But I always remain equipoised in the heart of one who is also equipoised in all circumstances. The Lord is equal to all. When you do not discriminate among people, oh, this person is a very nice person, this person talks very nicely. Oh, you know what? This person always comes and tells, Prabhuji, you're so nice. Mataji, you cook so nice. If you're not looking for such glorification for yourself, then you're equal to all. Similarly, if when you associate with people like that, then the Lord who is equal to all will show special mercy towards you. That's what the Lord is saying, that you may ask me for any benediction. Did Prithu Maharaj ask for any benediction? He's pleased the Lord already. Just by forgiving, it was our topic for today, but just by forgiving, he's already pleased the Lord. So when the Lord is pleased, he is telling him, ask me for any benediction that you want. People who know the story, you know what Prithu Maharaj is going to ask. If you don't know, see if you can read it, otherwise you can hear it in the next class. So I will stop here. Any questions, any comments on what we heard? You have 2 minutes. Lot of silence. So I'm hoping everyone is okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. Very wonderful class. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam Prabhuji. Hare
Danvat
Krishna
Pranam,
to all
thank you.
devotees.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thanks so
So
much for
I
joining.
have a question, Prabhu. I have a question regarding forgiving. Here, Krishna is saying, Vishnu is saying, forgive to Priti Maharaj, right? But
Yeah.
in the case of Kurukshetra, he said, do not forgive the Kauravas, right?
No, no.
So how do we take it?
So we should understand why it is forgiving, right? So in this case, to re-establish religion, you need to forgive. In that case, to re-establish religion, you don't forgive. He's not saying don't forgive. You need to. So why did he say? What did he say? You fight. Correct? That was because they had tried all the other processes. Fighting or chopping off that finger is saving the rest of the body. You need to chop off. That's what we need to understand. Okay. So we are probably never put into a situation like Arjuna, wherein we need to chop off. So it is better that we forgive. That's what is my understanding on this.
Yes, Prabhu. But in this case, no, Prithvi Maharaj has, Indra has created a lot of apasampradayas also, no? But how
Yeah.
to counter those apasampradayas actually?
So that's why Brahmaji and Vishnu both came and spoke, right? So they
Yes.
stopped him creating apasampradaya. They didn't
Okay.
let that continue. But you will see, if you hear this lecture, see, we are doing 20 shlokas in a day. When you hear individually this particular previous chapter shloka, you will see some of our acharyas have spoken about this, or Bhakti Vaibhav classes, if you hear, saying that those triggering of those upper sampradayas, the sannyasas, the sannyasi order that he created, Indradev, that will be followed in Kali Yuga, that will come later. These have to be there for Kali Yuga to take effect, right? So nothing new needs to be created. That's why these things keep happening. These are all If you look at the larger scale, these are all part of the Lord. That's why they said, okay, it's still in Satyuga, you stop all this nonsense, my dear Prithu Maharaj, forgive him so that rest of it continues smoothly. But the seed is sowed, that will come back later. So if you're already doing Bhakti Vaibhav, or if you're hearing to those fourth canto classes, you will actually hear this. Indra creating this Apasampradaya, previous shloka, previous chapter, right? 19th chapter, you hear the topics.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining in. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.